The Young Ones was and is one of the most revolutionary television programs ever made, and thus, naturally, should be considered an important program which made an impact on TV history and the people who watched it. It took the recently developed music genre punk and transferred it into a situation comedy about 4 young students, a demented punk, an attention-seeking self-obsessed anarchist, a depressed hippie, and a profound pun-spewing con artist, all sharing a house together.
What's this, Neil?
Leftovers.
The show was the start of a new comedy genre, described unflatteringly by critics as alternative. Within this short video, I intend to show how important an impact The Young Ones made on television.
The young ones, darling, we're the young ones, and young ones shouldn't be afraid to live, love, while the flame is strong, for we may not be the young ones very long.
The Young Ones was unlike any other situation comedy that the public had ever seen before. In terms of its scale of anarchic and revolutionary style and impact, the short-lived series is at the top with programs such as the 1950s radio series The Goon Show and the sketch show Monty Python's Flying Circus. This disjointed, unpredictable and yet charming sitcom was written by a then very young Rick Mayall, his girlfriend at the time Lisa Mayer, and Ben Elton.
How come I know what a girl's bottom looks like? From looking in the mirror?
Commissioning The Young Ones was definitely a big risk for the BBC. The real argument for it to be made was the looming presence of Channel 4. Part of Channel 4's agenda was that it would take risks and allow programmes to be made that the BBC wouldn't dare to create for fear of offending the public. And as highlighted in the documentary Storm Over 4, they did just that. So basically, the BBC allowed The Young Ones to be made in an attempt to attract viewers.
We never clean the toilet, Neil! That's what being a student is all about!
Via his website, Adrian Edmondson, who played Vivian Bastard, gives his understanding as to why The Young Ones was allowed to be made. He says Paul Jackson, who was a young producer from the BBC, managed to convince his bosses that Channel 4 were going to grab all the new comedy and simultaneously persuaded them to commission a pilot for The Young Ones. But understandably, once the pilot was broadcast back in November 1982, the BBC were baffled by what they were presented. Aid Edmondson continues, "The BBC bigwigs didn't understand it. They asked Ben to write an essay to explain what was funny about it.
Shut the telly out the window. That I did not expect.
Part of what makes The Young Ones unique is that it isn't a traditional sitcom at all.
Evening, boys! Oh, no!
At some point in every episode, Alexei Sayle would perform a few minutes of stand-up comedy, always as a different character, but always with the same Liverpool accent.
I mean, people think that telly's great, you know. They tell me all the time television must be great, but it's not. It's dead boring, you know. I am Brian Damage-Bolofsky. I am, however, a violent and highly dangerous escaped criminal madman. All you get from a public school, right? 1, you get a top job, right? And 2, you get an interest in perverse sexual practices.
The episodes also contained a large amount of cutaway gags.
Shut the door, will you? I think he's been shot.
You know what that means, don't you?
You've stabbed?
No? I'm gonna have to shut the door myself.
Jokes which have absolutely no relevance to the plot and take place in a separate location. These have since become synonymous with the hit American animated sitcom Family Guy.
It's the right thing to do, like taking out Hitler.
Just as Monty Python would incorporate animation sequences, The young ones featured puppets, including the house resident rats and Vivian's pet hamster.
Oh, have we got a video?
Yes, we've got a video! Music!
Most episodes also featured a musical number, performed by then-current bands like Madness and Dexy's Midnight Runners. It often seems more like a bizarre variety show than a sitcom.
I wish I'd had time for a crap before we started.
That's all you girls ever think of.
Gotcha, Vivian! Using my ketchup on your cornflakes!
As its name denotes, variety shows are if the programme contains a range of entertainment such as singing, dancing and comedy. Also, by putting a music segment into every episode, that gave the series a bigger budget and allowed them an extra day in the studio for rehearsals. Rick Mayall, who played Rick in addition to writing, supports this in his spoof autobiography. Although he does also claim the reason for giving each show a music segment was so it could be a homage to such legendary shows as The Goon Show and The Morecambe and Wise Show.
Just thought you might need it to cover up that dead hippie you just murdered, that's all.
Yes, bury him, but it's not a hippie. It's just a garden gnome that I accidentally cracked.
What a load of old crap. It's not a gnome, it's a hippie he's just killed. He's just killed a hippie, everybody!
The Young Ones definitely fits into the category of being very postmodernistic.
The whole has been surrounded by angry medieval peasants.
And I think they're witches and they're gonna burn us.
We're completely trapped. The outlook is bleak.
Oh, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do?
Oh, who cares?
Media theologists such as John Fiske claim that this is the epitome of postmodernism, as plot helps to shape any film, book or TV series.
What does a bit of mess matter? We're all going to be dead in 20 minutes anyway!
Yeah. Oh, no!
What are you upset for? You've always wanted to die.
My parents are coming round to tea!
Writers of postmodern pieces are essentially freeing themselves from the cages of control.
I have a patient outside whose deformities are so grotesque that you will question how the Almighty could suffer such a blasphemy upon his earth.
Calm yourself, Doctor, not the 9 o'clock news. We are men of science.
Pray remember, sir, he is human.
It's an elephant, Doctor.
You unfeeling bastard, sir.
I am an elephant, you know.
Things happen throughout the series that the characters just shrug off as being normal, or forget about if they have other things on their mind. On one occasion, after Rick swallows a whole bottle of pills to try and gain some sympathy...
Can you, actually kill yourself with laxative pills?
The camera pans away and zooms towards a matchbox on the shelf.
Don't look at me. I'm irrelevant.
This is a prime example of being postmodern, as essentially the joke is saying to the audience, "Look at me, I should not exist."
Well, they better hurry up, because Vivian's escaped.
Missed!
Although all four main characters, including Neil and Mike the Cool Person, get equal amounts of laughs, it is Vivian Bastard who's indeed the breakout character of the series.
Bored!
Vivian seemingly has no goals in life besides setting traps for Rick, breaking things, and threatening Neil.
If you don't stop snitching by the time I count 3, I'm gonna cut your bottoms off and ram them up your nose!
Even Vivian's talking Scottish hamster meets his violent wrath. Although he does often deserve it.
Bastard! I think it's a toaster for you!
Unlike the other characters who just happen to exist in this bizarre, cartoon, surreal universe, Vivian is very much a part of it. Here are some examples.
Sorry, Viv.
That's okay now. It was bound to happen sooner or later. You little runt! The old trick, eh? Eat the telly before I get a chance to nick you. It's a toaster. Do not lean out of the window. I wonder why. You take your time, you bastard!
A world where such outrageous violence has no impact or consequence is truly a postmodern attribute.
Oh, have we got a video?
If anyone else asks me that question, I'm gonna stick their head through the window.
Viv, have we got a video?
Right. Come this way, Neil.
The creators of The Young Ones, Mayle, Elton and Mayer, did not want their characters to be sympathised with.
Get back in the sack, Sock! I'm not going back in there. It stinks.
Vivian, if you can't keep control of your socks, you shan't be allowed to have any.
It's dead now.
We wanted to do a sitcom in which all the characters were unredeemably horrible. And we thought, who is more horrible than students?
Darling fascist bully boy, give me some more money, you bastard. May the seed of your loin be fruitful in the belly of your woman.
Well, if that doesn't work, I don't know what will.
The only trouble is we're running low on fuel. Viv, chuck it on the fire.
The character the audience is made to laugh at, rather than with, is Rick.
Hi, Vivian, what are you doing?
Shut up, you girl!
He's incredible. I'm not a girl at all.
He regards himself as a poet and an anarchist, when in actual fact he is just extremely self-centred and egotistical, refusing to believe how unpopular he really is.
Why don't you like me?
Because you're a complete bastard.
Vivian, I'm being serious.
So am I. You're a complete bastard and we all hate you.
I find that rather difficult to believe.
He is obsessed with the concept of anarchy and chaos, and at any given moment will go on a rant about the government, in particular the at the time recently elected Margaret Thatcher.
The bathroom's free, unlike the country under the Thatcherite junta. Come on, everybody, throw down your tools and throw up a barricade. Thatcher's bloody Britain. So you've taken to snooping around other people's bedrooms, have you, Neil? Grubbing about and planting evidence of transvesticism, so as to topple me from my position of most popular member of the flat. But it won't work. I've never seen that dress before in my life.
Well, it's got your name tag on it, Rick.
Oh, God, look, it's not mine. It's not mine. What would I want with the dress? It's not, look, I've got money. Here, take money, here.
The series occasionally poked fun at more traditional sitcoms, pointing out why a show like this was just the antidote for a rebellious generation who were in love with bands like the Sex Pistols. A key moment which highlights this is halfway through the episode Sick, when Neil's parents tell him they'd much prefer it if he was acting in a nice sitcom like The Good Life. Vivian explodes with rage.
Watching the bloody Good Life! Bloody! I hate it! It's so bloody nice!
This sums up, supposedly, what the average teenager had been thinking the 4 years The Good Life ran on television.
You just watch your steps, Sonny.
The Young Ones also made fun of Britain's social class, in particular the episode Bambi, where the 4 students from Scumbag College go on a spoof of University Challenge and are up against a team of upper-class twits played by fellow rising comedians Stephen Fry and Hugh Laurie.
Yes, that's the spirit.
Oi! Up, scumbag! Up, scumbag! See you, teddy bear. Come here.
He came to represent the modal cathartic slipwet.
Wasn't it monk to Wally to honk? Yes, well, we're almost there. Can you give me any more? Certainly. Will £50 do? Absolutely spot on.
I'm completely bloody sick of this!
The Young Ones is still as popular today as it was 30 years ago. While ways of ending scenes and episodes without punchlines had been established by Monty Python, the mix of toilet humour, cartoon violence, and implausible characters and sequences was something that the Young Ones cemented in alternative comedy. However, is it still funny? Ade Edmondson isn't so sure. When I see clips of the Young Ones, it looks a bit dated, but Bottom looks timeless and just funny. But of course, while still in the alternative comedy genre of sitcom, the fabric of Bottom is essentially in the same vein as Steptoe and Son, i.e. two people living in squalor who sometimes like each other, but most of the time despise each other. In conclusion, The Young Ones, without a doubt, made a great impact on those who saw it, situation comedies, and comedy in general.
Really great!
I'm Jeffrey with a moustache, saying, I've got a video.
Excuse me, is this a cheese shop?
No, sir.
Well, that sketch knackered then, innit?